Good morning, this is Jack from the ArtChart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Thursday, the 22nd of August. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to achieve trading signals. Right, we made our target area last night, and again this morning. We didn't quite retest the high this morning. That might need a retest in RTH, but basically, here we are. And am I seeing anything I do not want to see? And the answer is, I think, no, I don't think there is. We've got a nice looking rising wedges more or less across the board. This isn't one of the nicer ones on ES, but it's still pretty good. Look at those nice trend lines. It's clean, solid, and pretty close to breaking down. We haven't got any negative divergence here. We wouldn't have any high quality negative divergence even with a retest of the high in LTH. The main reason I'm thinking of a retest in LTH is because we might need that for SPX, but not necessarily though. NQ, don't have a sell signal there either. Nice looking double top as there is on ES. And nothing to suggest it isn't about to turn here. It's again, I think this works out. This is yeah, all the trend lines clean. This is another nice rising wedge. This one is breaking down, slightly unlikely to be topping out. RTY, I've got another rising wedge. Again, it's here. I've got a weak 6-minute sell signal fixed. I've got a nice looking double top on DAX and ESTH. Now these were my concern, really. I was concerned that these might be pointing a lot significantly higher. What do we got here? We've got another very nice rising wedge here, and that hasn't broken down yet, but it's likely to. And if we didn't already have a 60-minute sell signal fixed, we would have one brewing at the moment on ESTX, which is an important inflection point because this is a perfectly valid double bottom that's broken up. Again, we have another very nice rising wedge, and if we weren't already on a 60-minute sell signal, we would have another one brewing at the moment. We've got a nice looking little double top here, and as and when we see a hard fail here, which I'm expecting, then the target, this is a Janus flag setup, would be a full retest of this low, which is the target I wish it to make. So altogether, that's all looking pretty promising actually. Now, all this setup really needs to do is actually turn. And it's hard to understate the importance of the turning as part of the process. Obviously, that's really important. But nonetheless, this is all looking extremely promising. We're looking at a likely classical triangle here. I'm wondering if that needs a little higher, but it doesn't necessarily. In fact, it can come up to, but not beyond for me, because Stan's looking at a flat, I'm looking at a triangle, a classical triangle, which can be a flat. So that can get anywhere up to 29.43.31, but not over it if it's going to be a triangle. So we can go a little higher in RTH, but I'm thinking it's going to fail here. We're already on a 5-minute sell signal this morning. It may not come back. Nothing really to say on the daily chart apart from we have come up, we've tested the middle band, we've got a failure at the RSI 14 at the 50 level, which is nice. It's got the same on SPX on the daily. Again, testing daily middle band area. So I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. We closed just under the daily band yesterday. I'm expecting to close under it again today. So long as everything delivers along the lines that it is showing that it wants to deliver, then that's fine. So just looking for the turn today. All right, DX. DX, expanding into a double top. The nice looking head and shoulders from yesterday has not survived the night. Well, arguably, as soon as it reaches this high though, it's a double top. This needs to turn for GC, not for SPX or anything, but for GC as planned. ZB, I'm thinking we're probably going to do a full retest of this low. I'm thinking we could well do that this morning, and then we're probably going to see a retest of this high. CL. CL breaks slightly below the rising mega fan support, which I was very sorry to see because I was hoping this would reach the 57.4 retest area and therefore be a double top, which would have a target on a breakdown and a retest of here. As it is, we've got a lower high, and it does look as though that lower high is probably not going to be breached. Now there, we get Stan's 53 target. Now what he's looking at here is a possible bull flag. So in a bull flag would likely come down to about here, which would be in the 53.40 area. And then we would likely get a retest of this high and very possibly a move to the top of the range. So unfortunately, it looks like stands right, and we're probably only going to get to the 53s. What level would you get concerned that we're going modestly higher, Jack? Yeah, I would be surprised and very irritated to see that 43 area, that 43 level on SPX broken. Get to 44 and I lose my SPX triangle, which means that we're not doing a triangle, or at least not an obvious one. So I'm not expecting to see that. Everything looks ready to turn now. I've got resistance. I've got wedge resistance. We'd have to overthrow the wedge to even get to the 29.43 area. I'm really not expecting it to get up as high as that. After that, I'll be back at the charts trying to work out where it might finish. But we've got a lovely setup to turn it right here, right now. Do a marginal higher high in the morning, and then we get an ideal entry, and then it can just go from there. I'm not expecting to see 29.44. And I would be wondering what the implications were if we saw it. Okay, NG still hasn't reached this support trend line. I'm expecting this to break and open a possible retest of the low. GC, the buy signal has not quite failed, but it's been a very close run thing. I'm expecting this to turn back up into a retest of the high. It could, of course, come down here. If this was a bull flag for me, of course, then we'd be looking for a target in the 1485 area, but at the moment I'm expecting this to be the second low of a double bottom. I'm expecting this to turn back up and deliver the retest, along with a turn on equities and hopefully on DX as well, because a move up on GC is unlikely to be long-lived unless DX cooperates. SI, I'm not expecting this trend line to break. We're almost tested overnight before we see a retest of the high. As soon as we get into the retest of the high area, by the way, on metals, we're looking at a possible significant turn forming. What the implications for DX are there, I don't know, but I think it may go up. Watching that with interest. HG, I'm looking for a retest of this low. We have broken this support level, and I'm expecting to see that sooner rather than later. Quite a nice bounce off this low there. Could be a little later. UUSD. UUSD looks like a bounce here, possible double bottom, could get us back to the 111.55 area. Wondering about a retest of the low after that. GBP USD. We've seen quite a nice move up here, actually. The obvious declining resistance is in the 122.80 area, and that looks like it wants to be tested. As soon as we get that tested, that's going to confirm the support trend line. Of course, we could turn back down towards it. USD JPY. Possible IHS here. It's pretty ugly, is all I would say. And I'm not. If we see a break up from it, I'm thinking it's probably going to fail into a full retest of slow in a Genesis flag setup. So watching with interest to see what happens there. We shall see. All right. USD CAD. USD CAD, we've got a fail down here at the moment, I think. A nice looking double top. We've had a rally yesterday. I'm expecting this to break through 1.325 and fail lower into the 1.316 area, where I've got possible larger double top support at the annual pivot at 1.3185. This is a very nice double top setup to get us considerably lower, and I'm thinking that's probably going to the lower. Australian dollar. Looks like a triangle, still in the triangle. I'd love to see a retest of this low. Probably not going to get it looking at Stan's charts. NZUSD has retested the low. I was expecting that. We're pretty close to having a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. As soon as we retest this low, we will have a positive divergence there. And I'm thinking we may well see a turn. KC. KC, we have a possible IHS here. We're back at the weekly pivot, and I'm leaning towards this going up. We shall see. But I like this. I like this to the upside. And the next big resistance over the weekly pivot would be declining resistance, which is slightly over 1. SB. SB, I was wondering about a retest of this low. Doesn't seem particularly enthusiastic. The 60-minute sell signal has reached possible near miss target. I'm thinking that KC is about to break up. I'm wondering whether SB is about to do the same. And you'll see we've broken declining resistance. So it may be that we're in a bottoming process that will involve a retest today, but otherwise I think we may well be breaking up. CC, we've got a breakup over the weekly pivots. We've reached a possible IHS neckline. Ideally, we would come back down, retrace to the 2190 area, and then break up in an IHS, which should have a target in the 2300 area. That's what I'd like to see here. There is a case for going lower after a rally here, and wait and see what happens there. The 60 minutes buy signal has reached the possible near miss target. ZW. We've got nice looking falling wedge here. It could go and reach wedge support. We've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed, and it may well be heading straight up from here. Little level bottom, breaking up at the moment. Doesn't have to reach the lower target, just leaning towards that as a probably. Corn. Nice looking double top here. I'm thinking in the longer term we're probably going to come down into the 315.8, 357 area maybe. I've got a bigger picture, low retest there that we might get. In the short term though, it's a nice looking double bottom. And we've got no positive divergence, but I think the double bottom may well play out. We shall see. Soy, I'm still leaning towards seeing a retest at this low. Not seeing that at the moment. Looks like a short-term bear flag forming. All right, ZB. What's the low retest level in ZB before we turn back to retest the high? That would be. What I'd like to see is a retest of 163.13. As this low. That would set up a potential double bottom to take us to the retest of the high. That would be ideal. Oh, well, my pleasure, mate. Anyway, any more questions, guys? Pretty much answered the ones we went along so far. Right. Just in the off chance ES gets above 29.46, would you exit all shorts or have a stop at 29.52, 53 to give it a bit of wiggle room? It would be 52, 53 for me personally. Well, I am short. I'm thinking low 50s. Would I consider going long? No. Generally speaking, going long after we do get some areas where you have a breakout which is clear enough that you can buy after a significant rise already. But generally speaking, it's better to buy after a decline, both in the short term and the longer. So buy low, sell high. Buying as you might be making a high. Well, it's a bit of a problem. At the very least, it opens you up to the possibility of doing a back test, which takes you out of any reasonable stop. So I don't like doing it. It worsens your odds considerably, and that's why I don't like doing it. Okay. Do we have any more questions? My thoughts on a short on a stop on a CL short here. At the moment, it would be above the last high. It would be at probably 56.48. I'm thinking that we may well be reversing here. We've got a possible head and shoulders forming at a 56.04 neckline. Ideally, it would come back up to about the 56.30 area, and I'd be looking to enter there and look for a right shoulder high or a retest. Over that, I don't have a trend line target above unless it's a lot higher. I'd be wary about getting. I'd probably pick. On CL, it's one of those ones where I'd probably pick two shorters as a day trade and keep a runner as the safest way to enter and the lowest risk. Otherwise, it's a little. If we got, we could still get back to 57.5, and if it got much beyond it, then I don't know where it would go, and that's a lot of risk in one trade. All right, any more questions, guys? My pleasure, mate. It's so I think right now CL is not nearly as attractive a short as ES is. Indices are looking really, really nice on the short side. All right, guys. Anyway, trading day starting. Likely to be interesting today. We shall see how it goes, and I'll catch you later.